So today we're going to be migrating our GetResponse contact lists, exporting those, and getting them into Systeme, which is a great platform. It's all in one. It'll replace your ClickFunnels, your email autoresponders like ActiveCampaign, GetResponse. It has a training platform that replaces Thinkific and all these other things. It all integrates perfectly. You don't have to worry about crazy technology, APIs not working, and people not getting on your email list because the technology didn't work or anything. So no longer do you have to worry about that. Hey, I'm Mike Kramer, KramerNow.com, and I help struggling entrepreneurs build passive income without expensive software or fake gurus by building unique digital assets that help others. So I'm going to show you exactly how to export your list to CSV if you haven't done it already in GetResponse. If you haven't, or any email list autoresponder you're using, I highly recommend exporting your contact list regularly because it's like a backup, right? Like if that platform blew up tomorrow, you want to have copies of your email list. Just keep them secure. It is other people's information. All right, so we logged into our GetResponse and we logged into Systeme. And if you haven't gotten an account in Systeme yet, check out my link. You get a free trial and I'll help you out. I'm going to have bonuses on there soon, which I'll get to you as well for like your own funnel to promote it. So in GetResponse, once you log in, right, you go to your contacts and you're going to have your list. It's going to default right here. The way Systeme works is a little different than other platforms, but I like it. Systeme does it very similarly, but they use it tags instead. So tagging is used, it could be automated, and it's used to show like what list they joined. And it's, I think, a lot cleaner, a lot easier way to work because then you'll have one email across whatever lists you have, right? It's really just, you just have one list, but they're going to be tagged. So when you're sending emails for certain campaigns, you're going to send them to different tags rather than different lists. So it's very similar concept. It's just a cleaner way to do it. And you can automate it all with different tags for different reasons. It enables you to have like subcategories within those tags or tags that have nothing to do with the list they're on and things like that. So very powerful and flexible. So from your list right here, what you want to do is you don't even need to tag each one of these first. What you want to do is just go into one of your email lists, right? Just click on it and you're going to have your contacts here. What you want to do is just go to the three dots over here on the far right and then go down to export, and it's going to export all of the contacts. So you go over here to contacts, you put in a file name, call it whatever that list was called, you know, or at least something similar. So I'll just call it demo list 1 in this case, and that's your file name. File type, just do CSV, it's comma space delimited, and then export new file, and it'll show up underneath here in a little bit. Then you're going to want to go to your next list. If you have multiple lists, just go back, click lists, go to another list here and go back, you know, far right, the three dots, hit export, give this, you know, demo list 2, name it something so you know exactly what it is though. Name it after the list, because I'll show you why that's important in a second. We're going to tag it based on the list name. So now we're going to export that new file and we're just going to wait a moment for them to show up here. So you got demo list 1 and 2. Now you can not right click, but you can just hover here and hit download. Make sure you get all of them. You may have several. Now that you have these separate files all downloaded, and, you know, we can take a peek at them, but you want to make sure like all the info's in there and stuff like that. So looks good. Now we're going to move over to Systeme. So you log into your Systeme dashboard. And if you don't have that yet, again, there's a link in my description, and go to your contacts right here. Once you log in and click on contacts. Then we're going to hit import contacts. Gives you a big warning that you're about to import new contacts. Be aware you should only import contacts with their permission to send them emails. So they're not talking about like moving them, you know, make sure they opted in, right? Make sure they want these emails. They're just trying to prevent spammers. I would hope you're doing it this way in your business anyway, that you're not going to email anyone that didn't ask to be emailed. And a high percentage of complaints will get your account blocked. So again, just make sure you're doing it the right way. The way I show you is the right way. It's the opposite of spamming. You're sending stuff that people said they want to receive. and make sure you're doing that. So we're going to now choose the file, right? By default, it goes to your like downloads folder if you're a Windows user, but otherwise pay attention where it downloaded it, and you just double click the one list. You do one at a time if you have multiple lists, and delimiter defaults to CSV, so that's perfect. And now select campaign. You can skip that for now. We're not going to need to assign it to a campaign, but you do want tags, right? So you do want tags. So you're going to want to create a new tag it like the name of that list. So instead of the list name, you're going to give it a tag name. I do recommend just one word without spaces. You can do, what they call camel case with upper and lower characters to make it more legible. Underscore should work fine. I just don't like using spaces for field names like this because some software freaks out. I haven't had an issue with Systeme, but it's just a general rule of thumb I have with technology. Then all you're going to do, I already imported these, so I'm not going to do that, but you're going to want to pick the tag that you named after the list that it came from. And then you're picking the rows, what field name this data should go into. So this first row, if you're using GetResponse, is just an ID. It doesn't matter. So there is no equivalent ID here. The campaign it was in, once you create a campaign, which is like an autoresponder, you would put that up here. You don't need to put that in a field. Name, here's a big difference for a lot of people is there's first name, last name. You can create custom fields, but I probably wouldn't do that. Anything custom, you're going to have to kind of manage later, right? So I like to use the built-in things unless you have a really compelling reason. So I would just choose first name. And what happens is if somebody ever put in their full name here, you can later put it out, parse it out into first name, last name later. But otherwise, it'll just all get stored in the first name. That way you can compose emails like, hi, first name here, comma, blah, blah, blah. Email, it auto-detected, so that looks good. So right here's the scroll bar, and so this is the sign up time. And I like to put that, there's a field they call select contact register date. So you would pick that for when they signed up. Type of opt-in doesn't matter. How they came in, was it through the web, a form, API, doesn't matter. IP address, you can create a custom field for that, but for now, I just wouldn't worry about that. You don't need it. You could probably throw it in, company name or some other field for now. So yeah, this is city, right? So right here, you could put city. For GeoCity, region would be state or province, postal code. So if you see that, you could change that to zip code, and then you would basically just go through. It depends how much of this you want, right? So like custom comment. So then you would go ahead, import. It shows you then a history of all the imports you did recently and if there were any invalid rows, but that's it. When you're done, all right, so then you'll hit import and you'll make sure that there were no invalid rows when it processed. And then when you go to your contacts up here, you should see all the email addresses and then the tags that were over here on this side. So if you didn't have any campaigns or you just have one campaign, I'd still recommend adding a tab. And I'll show you how to do that in the next video when we talk more about tags. But hopefully this helped you and shows how easy it is to migrate your contact list from GetResponse or any program that you could spit out a CSV and then import those contacts into Systeme, which is more affordable, more powerful, easier to use, and the technology just works. Thanks a lot and take it easy.